Whether you've got the DJI Mini 4 Pro, the Air 3, a posh Mavic, or the fantastic little DJI Neo, at some point you're going to be tempted to go shopping for some accessories. I'm going to go through 16 of the essential accessories that I use to make my life easier whilst flying my drones. And you might find that you actually have some of these already but didn't know it. I hope. Now, there's tons of stuff out there for the aspiring drone pilot, and sometimes it's very tempting to buy stuff that you might just end up chucking in a drawer and leaving to gather dust. In this video, I'm going to show you the things that I actually use. Now, at the time of filming, Black Friday is just on the horizon. So if you take a look in the description, you'll see links to many of these products, and you might just be able to get a good deal. Now, I have to say that my affiliate links do earn the channel a tiny bit of commission, but it doesn't cost you any more. Oh, and if you're in the market for some ND filters, I happen to know that Freewell have got some cracking deals on for Black Friday as well. So let's get on with it. Now, if you got the Fly More combo for your DJI Mini 3 Pro, 4 Pro or Air 3, it will have come with a bag, a bit like this. It holds your controller, and your batteries, and your drone, but not much else. I found myself using this and a normal backpack, or putting this inside a normal backpack and just not having much room for anything else. That is, until my son bought me this. This is the Yuhan multifunction backpack, and like many photography bags, it has a cube system on the inside that can be altered to fit your gear. It also has a front pocket where you can put a laptop, with a couple of nice secure pockets in there as well. It opens from the back, so you've got access to all of your gear, which is a really good security feature. It's got a basic adjustable waistband, which I don't use, so I just fasten it around here. And also an outside pocket here. This is ideal for putting an Avata 2 or the DJI Neo in. Now, at the bottom, it's got these strong feet to protect it from the ground, and a secret pocket here, which also holds a waterproof cover. All in all, I can actually fit every drone I own in this bag. It's a pretty decent bag, and for the past couple of years has not let me down whatsoever. And it's only 50 quid. Now, as you progress through the drone hobby, you're going to amass a lot of spares like cables and propellers and that sort of stuff. Now, this might come across as a bit weird, but I've actually found that these zippy bags, I'll hold them up the right way, are really useful. You can stick all of your spares in one of these, zip it up, and label the bag, and that can just go into your drone bag, and you know that it's all safe and secure, it's nice and watertight, and yeah, there's 15 in this box. You're probably not going to end up using all 15, but here's a little tip, and this might sound weird, but you can use one of these bags for keeping food fresh in, or you could put your sandwiches in it. Yeah, I know, I'm weird. However carefully you fly, propellers do tend to wear out over time. Then, of course, there is the time when you will have that inevitable major crash, and you'll end up having to replace several, if not all, of your propellers. It'd be horrible to be out in the countryside and not have any spares and to just stop filming. Before you fly, you should always check the state of your propellers for any nicks or where the ends might break. So always keep a good stock of them. Luckily, DJI don't charge the earth for them. Do make sure you put the propellers on correctly. I have got a video for that. Moving on from replacing the propellers, the screwdriver that DJI provides for unscrewing and screwing up the propellers is absolute garbage, and you're more than likely going to end up stripping your screws the first time you try to use it. So I really would recommend getting one of these. This is a PH000 screwdriver, and it's available from Amazon. The link is in the description. When you click on it, you might see a different color depending on what country you're in. So don't panic, as long as it's PH000. Oh, and one tip, if you're going to be putting this in your drone bag, put a bit of tape over the top, just to stop that puncturing anything delicate. This is not bondage gear, it's a propeller strap. It fits around your drone and stops your propellers from flapping about when you're taking it in and out of your bag. Now, there are a lot of people that say they don't bother with these, but DJI supply one with the Mini 4 Pro, so there must be a reason for having them. When I'm shoving things in and out, I don't want them to get damaged.
That's what she said.
Now, this is a fairly cheap way to protect your investment. Can you see what it is? No, and that's the whole point. I have a screen protector on here that makes no difference to how badly I fly, but if I happen to be a clumsy sod and drop my controller, it's going to protect my screen from scratches and potentially even from getting cracked. Now, they're really cheap, it's about £9, so it's a bit of a no-brainer. This one here from Tech Gear has a matte finish, so it's resistant to reflections. They're really easy to apply. If you need to take them off for any reason, then they don't leave any residue. I'm just wondering how much that matte screen is now reflecting my studio lights. Oh, it's not too bad. Now, lanyards might be one of the most useful things on this list. It's like having an extra hand when you're trying to juggle a camera, an aircraft, and also trying to take off and land. I originally bought this very simple DJI branded one for my remote controller 3, and I liked it so much, and it was so lightweight and comfortable. I wanted a way for it to attach to my RC2 for when I was flying my Mini 4 Pro and my Air 3. After a bit of hunting around, I found this attachment here which screws on the back of the RC2. It was originally for a cycle mount, but it's got this hole here which you can put the clasp of the lanyard through. And that just hangs your remote controller there. So you can imagine that's over your head. You've got your remote controller there. All good. I know it's got DJI on the lanyard, but I don't think DJI make it. Most DJI drones have very limited onboard storage capacity, so it's always a good idea to invest in a couple of SD cards. You need to get an SD card that has U3 or V30 markings on it. This makes sure that it's fast enough to handle the data transfer speeds that's needed for nice, smooth 4K video at high frame rates. I personally go for Kingston Canvas Go Plus 128GB SD cards. For one thing, it's the SD card that DJI recommend, and touchwood, I've never really had any problems with them. Now, most drones can take an SD card up to 528GB, but with storage being so cheap these days, I really would recommend getting just 128GB cards, possibly 256, and just spreading the investment of your time across more than one card. If you've just got a 512GB card with a lot of your footage on and it gets corrupted, you've lost everything on that card. Whereas just simply swapping out 128GB cards throughout the day means that you've got all of your footage safe and secure. Also, if you've got a couple of 128GB cards, you can keep one stored in your RC controller, just here. You can also use it to take screen recordings whilst you're flying, if that's your sort of thing. Next up is strobes, so if you are sensitive to flashing lights, please skip along to the next chapter. Now, if you're a fan of flying at night like I am, or you just want some extra visual line of sight during the day or in low visibility conditions, one of these strobes is really useful. This tiny little strobe from Vifly is really good. It's USB rechargeable, and every time I've used it, I'm blown away by the fact that when I get it back, I rarely have to actually charge it. It holds a charge really well. They simply mount on your drone using Velcro and stick very securely, and by pressing this button, we get flashing green lights. And press the button again and it changes the speed of it. Press it again and it's just on. And then you've got white, different speed, and it's just on. Then you've got red, and then you just press and hold it to switch it off. Now that is really bright and I can't really see my camera anymore. I've just got strobe lights in front of my eyes. They are really useful, not only for safety, but also for visual line of sight as well. And before anyone says it, Yes, a strobe like this, even though it's very small and very light, will put your drone over 250 grams. So you may have to check your flight restrictions for flying over 250 grams. I'll talk more about that in a later video. I'm very sorry to my colleagues in the Netherlands and in Australia. I know you're not allowed to fly at night. I am sorry, but these are still useful during the day if you've got low visibility. ND filters, or neutral density filters, are made by various different companies, but the ones I swear by are from Freewell. Not because they send them to me for free to review, but actually because they are very, very good. And believe me, I have tried others. What do ND filters do? Well, as you'll hear many drone channel creators say, they're sunglasses for your drone. In basic terms, they help your footage look more cinematic and natural, and also work as great protection for your lens. There's a whole playlist that I've got about ND filters if you want to know more, so do check that out. Now, I should have probably asked you this before I started talking about ND filters, but could you please hit like and subscribe and hit the notifications? Thank you very much, really helps the channel out. Let's get on to the next one. Now, most ND filters come with a little lens cleaning cloth, which is great, but it's always a good idea to bring a nice absorbent microfiber towel with you when you're out flying. You can use it to clean any moisture or dirt that gets onto your drone from any unplanned quick descents. Yeah. Even though I tend to hand launch and hand catch my drones, from time to time there is a need for a landing pad. Normally when you're trying to juggle a camera and it's a little bit windy and you're on some uneven ground. So I've got this one, which my daughter actually bought me. It's blue on one side and orange on another. Comes with 3 pegs to peg it in the ground to stop it blowing away. And it just folds down like this. Really quickly and easily, and just slips inside your bag. Also great if you fly FPV with drones like the Avata 2. This is the TS301 anemometer from Toptez. Anemometers are great for anyone that's starting out in the hobby. Basically what they do is measure the wind speed, and they really help out if you're not quite sure whether it's too windy to fly your drone or not. I was talking to Sean from Geeksvana the other day, and he pointed out that they're also useful because in most territories it's illegal to fly your drone in wind speeds over the manufacturer's stated maximum. So well worth getting if you fly in adverse conditions. I've got a whole video about the TS301, and you can get 10% off this using this code. I'll leave it in the description as well. So yes, now we're talking about power and portable power. One of the great things that DJI make is a 65 watt car charger that just fits in the cigarette lighter, or whatever they're called these days. It's got a USB-C and a USB-A port on it, and whilst it is a little bit pricey, it's really, really handy. Not just for charging your drone while you're on the move, but for charging your phone or whatever you need to charge with a USB charger. But if you're on a trip for a couple of days and you don't want to be constantly looking for somewhere to plug in your batteries to be charged, then I can thoroughly recommend this. This is the Anker Prime 250 watt, 27,000 milliamp hour power bank. It's good to charge 3 Air 3 batteries and 6 Mini 4 Pro batteries. And it does it fast as well. In fact, potentially faster than charging at home with a 65 watt adapter. Now, it is a bit pricey, but Anker are well known for doing very deep discounts around Black Friday, so keep an eye out for it. And if you can afford it, grab the base unit as well, because that also acts as a charging hub, and you can plug other USB powered devices into it, as well as charging this wirelessly. And it makes a really nice desk clock as well. Now, whilst the RC1 and RC2 have got these really handy built-in screens, many people still prefer to use the RCN controllers, where you clamp in your phone and fly using the DJI Fly app with the phone plugged into the controller. But that does mean that you have to switch notifications off on your phone, put it onto mute and all of that sort of stuff, and then you don't have your phone for emergencies, and some people feel uncomfortable with that. Well, if you're anything like me, I bet you've got a bunch of old phones stashed away gathering dust in a drawer somewhere. So just find your most recent old phone that you're not using anymore and do what I did. This is an iPhone 11. I've cleared everything off it. It's got no SIM card in it. I've just got DJI Fly on it and a couple of other drone apps. Basically, a free monitor for your RCN controller. When you're out and about, it's always good to keep yourself hydrated, so grab yourself an insulated bottle and your favourite weak lemon drink. I tend to favour Robinson's barley water, and there is actually a link down below for it. Unfortunately, even though I looked for it, I couldn't find it for you guys in the US. I'm sorry, but that does show how dedicated I am. Leave a like. Thank you to Top Tez again for providing these units. Best of luck. Bye.